like this, then you'll remember that personality and you get the mercy of honoring that day. But we're very fortunate that going beyond that, we can remember his glory in one nice assignments. So the positive injunction, which is even more attractive and important. Negative injunction is okay, but we're really attracted to the positive injunction. What is the positive injunction? To remember great Vaishnavas? Srila Bharti Maharaj says this positive injunction is they become particularly inclined to shower their mercy on you. So in this way we attract their mercy. Who got to meet Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu in person? So only a handful of persons. But we all collectively can get his mercy by coming together and remembering and honoring him and saying Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu ki jai. Like this, we have that opportunity. So very special. So on this day is the Tirobhav. And the Tirobhav is exceptionally honorific and special for us because at the time of the appearance, when Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu appeared in 1932, who knew what glorious contributions he would make in the Gaudiya Vaishnava world, in the literature world of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It wasn't known at that time who he would become. But the Tirobhav, then we have an opportunity to reflect on the greatness of that Vaishnava and the life they lived. So while it's said that the Avirbhav and the Tirobhav are non-different, one can also say that the Tirobhav is more special because the greatness of the life lived of that Vaishnava has become prominent, has become evident. So today, for just a few minutes, I want to try to remember some of the greatness of his contributions. Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu was the son of Damarudara Muhunti and Ramani Devi. And he had a very auspicious birth because his parents were unable to conceive a child. And so in pursuing the blessings of any sadhu they could come across, they met one fakir, one Sufi saint. And they prayed to him that please you can give us blessings to have a child. And he said, yes, but I make two conditions. You have to accept these conditions or I won't give you blessings. So they said, okay, what are the conditions? He says, first condition, must name the child Fakir. So they're from Hindu family, not from Muslim family, but they have to accept this first condition, we'll name him Fakir. And the second condition, you should understand that he'll always be very attached to spiritual activities. He won't provide you grandchildren, he won't stay at the home. Very young age, he will run off and pursue spiritual life. So if you can accept these two things, then I can give you this blessing. So what can they do? They consider that, well, to have a child at least for a short time will be a nice blessing. So even if he decides to leave us at a young age, we can accept this consideration. And so like this, they received this blessing, and after a short while, Ramani Devi became pregnant, and our dear Fakir Mohan Prabhu manifested. They added this name of Mohan. Mohan is very enchanting. So a fakir is considered someone who is very materially poor. Why materially poor? Because they're giving up all material endeavors and completely attached to spiritual pursuits, so they're not accruing material wealth. So that person who is so enchanted by the beauty of Sri Krishna that they give up anything material and fully engage in full spiritual life is Fakir Mohan. And so this is how Radha Madhav can manifest to him, because he is completely attached to Shri Radha Krishna Yugal. He cannot see anything else in this world. Only seeing Radha Madhav, completely attached to that, no material pursuits, then Fakir Mohan is able to attract Radha Madhav. So, growing up, at a young age, he attempted to escape the family abode and go to the Himalayas. The very young boy, he was dear friends with one sadhu at the time known as Braj Bandhu Manik, who later we all know as Param Pujya Srila Gaura Govinda Goswami Maharaj. Srila Gaura Maharaj ki jai. So at that time, when they were very young boys, the observation when you look on a map is that the Himalayas are not a far distance from the family village. So very easy to run away to the Himalayas, because there's all the sadhus we hear, they're residing in the Himalayas, and this is what we want. We want to be in sadhu sangat. We don't want to family life. So in the attempt to run away, they were very quickly caught, only going one village away, and the shopkeeper who they stopped at. He was selling some sweets. They wanted a break to have some prasad, and he recognized and arranged for them to be sent back to their family home. But Fakir Mohan Prabhu, he never quit trying to escape. And when he was a little bit older, he eventually ran away to Purushottam Mutt. At that time, a Bhakti Pradeep Kirtan Maharaj was managing the mutt under Srila Bhakti Prasad Puri Goswami, who we may know as Srila Nanda Vasudeva. And so at that time, when he went to the mutt, it's described by his younger brother that his father went to try to bring him back, hearing that he went to the mutt. And when he arrived at the mutt, Bhakti Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, listen, father, you've been so worried that several times I tried to run away and you didn't know where I was. But you should just go home to mother very peacefully, knowing now where I am, because I won't leave from this place. So now you can be peaceful, you just return home, because if you bring me back again, I will leave. Because I want to just be here with the Sakis. So if you bring me back again, I will leave. So you should just let me be here peacefully, and then you can rest assured that you know where I was staying." So like this, Srila Bhakti Mahaprabhu was able to convince his father, and his father returned home. And when in the biography by Sri Madhavendra Prabhu, has some comprehensive biography he compiled, and he mentions that when they interviewed the youngest brother of Fakir Mohan Prabhu, and they asked him, "Can you tell us more about your parents?" He said, "I didn't get to know so much about their personalities, because shortly after Fakir Mohan Prabhu had left the home, then they left their bodies in separation. They couldn't bear to be separated from their son." So just like we hear the pastime of the Lord Ram, how when he was sent to the forest, and Dasarath Maharaj had such a heartbreak, his love was so intense for his son, he had to leave this world, in the same way his parents had that type of love for him. So, Srila Bhakti Mahaprabhu had many contributions, and I know my time is already over, I think. But many contributions he gave into the Gaudiya line, and in particular, a couple of points. One very special one is how he recovered Radha Madhav. So Shri Radha Madhav, where the deity is worshipped by Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod. And Srila Bhakti Thakur, he wrote maybe hundreds and hundreds of bhajans. And Madhavendra Prabhu, he noticed how spending so many years with Srila Bhakti Mohan Prabhu, he would notice that he would constantly sing at every free moment the bhajans of Bhakti Vinod Thakur from memory, from the heart. So he actually dedicated really his life to studying the works and the teachings of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And his favorite book as a child was Sri Harinam Chintamani. So he was completely immersed in Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And so by this immersion, then even though in the town of Choti, this Thakurji was considered to be lost, and what is the injunction in Shastra is if Thakurji is damaged, it has to be put in a holy river. And so the rumor was that, oh, Radha Madhav was broken, so we just put it in the Vajika River. Like this, they're not there anymore. But he was reading the autobiography of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and he concluded, I must find Radha Madhav. And so he went, more than like about 50 years after he was completed the law, he went to this village, and he was like knocking door to door, exploring here and there. And he came one personality named Sri Duryodhan Prabhu. Forget last name, Duryodhan his name was. And he was worshipping Radha Madhav privately in his home. And he was very pleased to know that so many people were interested in these Thakurji. He didn't realize, because he was a simple village personality, he had no idea that so many people were eager to have the darshan, eager to have the association, eager to have the blessings of Radha Madhav. And so in this way, he was very happy to release them into the care of the ISKCON devotees. And Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj was caring for them for some years and trying to arrange temple construction so that Radha Madhav can live on their initial. So now we're very blessed to have this darshan of Shri Radha Madhav. Shri Radha Madhav Ki. Many other contributions Srila Bhakti Mohan Prabhu made. In particular, he had very high-class association with very exalted Vaishnava, like Sri Ananda Vasudeva Prabhu, like Sri Sundarana Devi, like his Guru, his Aksha Guru, Sri Ram Priya Goswami, also like the Shikha Guru, Sri Haridas Babaji Maharaj. Sri Haridas Babaji Maharaj one time when Srila Bhaktivinoda was studying Sanskrit, he got first place in one of his testings, and he sent him a letter. Oh, I received the first place award in my Sanskrit. So Srila Haridas Bhakti Maharaj, he immediately replied. He said, "This is very nice, but let me know when you get first place in your bhajan." Like this. So like this, he was always under the shelter of a very high-class Vaishnava that knew the conclusions of Shastra and were directing him to that one point of focus. Like I Gurudev, my Srila Gurudev from Rangoswami, when some devotees were opening a new temple, they wanted to put many different types of deities, and he became like ferocious like his guru, like a lion. And he said, "Why do you want so many different deities? What will be next? Kali? Durga?" Like this. No. Try to understand why I'm giving you Gauranga Govinda. Like this. So we have to be one-pointed. We have to have a complete focus. And so Srila Fakir Mahaprabhu, he displayed this in his youth, where his Shiksha Guru was giving this opportunity to instruction to be very focused. Oh, I got first place in Sanskrit. Yes, but let me know about first place in Bhajra. This is more important than first place in Sanskrit. So many of us studying Sanskrit right now, and of course it's pleasing to Srila Gurudev, but I think mostly he wants us to be first place in Bhajra. So this is number one thing. So one of the major contributions of Srila Bhakti Mahaprabhu, because the Gaudiya history is very rich and steeped in Bengal, but Srila Bhakti Mahaprabhu, he gave such an endeavor for the majority of his life to uncovering the lost riches of the Gaudiya history in Odia, in Orissa. So one text that he translated was called the Mahabhav Prakash, and he translated this into from Sanskrit to Orissa. And this text was very, very rare to find. And one of the head pujaris at the time of Mahaprabhu in the Jagannath temple was the one who authored this after hearing Harikatha from Srila Ramananda Roy. And so hearing this Harikatha from Ramananda Roy, he documented some very transcendental Harikatha and put together this text as Mahabhav. And it has some very unique contributions to the pastimes and the ecstasies of Mahaprabhu that weren't documented in other places. And one in particular that I was very fond of as I was reading through this history was how in one of Mahaprabhu's ecstasies, his face took on the face of the disciple. His attention was on him so intensely with such an ecstasy that he became like them. So it was very sweet. And he contributed with dozens and dozens of texts from Srila Rupa Goswami and from Srila Raghunath Goswami and from other great acharyas, taking texts that were from in Bengali or in Sanskrit and putting them into Orissa language. So, and then also taking Orissa text that was broken and falling apart from different comedies with pieces missing, and very diligently and studiously compiling that into one book so that it can be published in the devotees that were following the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who were trying to be Gaudiya, could understand the rich relationship of the Gaudiya history, not just with Bengal, but also with India. So Srila Bhakti Mahaprabhu, time is short, I know other speakers are here, but he contributed very greatly to these types of things, uncovering Shishirada Madhavju, and contributing to the great literatures of the Orissa history in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. I want to share one personal passage. This is something that was actually very impactful to me. I got to meet him in 2016 on Twitter knowledge to the Buddha. We, at that time, we were small enough to only fill one bus. So we took one bus to Bhubaneswar, and we visited him. And he had recently had, I think, maybe heart surgery or something, because this was only 7-8 months before he left us. And he was laying on the bed on his side, and I was able to get in the room very early. It was just me, him, and Gurudev before the rest of the bus got in. And I had been thinking for some years, I thought, oh, how did Gurudev decide to begin accepting disciples? We had this thought, and I never really discussed with anyone. It was something I was thinking about. How did this occur? Because we hear how these great acharyas, they're in direct contact with the divine realm, and they're really welcome. So they can receive instructions internally. But I was just curious, what occurred in Gurudev's life? How this happened? And so I'm in the room with Gurudev and with Srila Fakir Mahaprabhu, and I'm sitting right behind them, only 2-3 feet away. And Srila Bhakti Mahaprabhu looks directly in Gurudev And he says, you should be giving diksha. And this is years after Gurudev had begun initiating. So he said, you should be giving diksha. And Gurudev looked back at me and he smiled and he said, he told me this a few years ago, but I guess again he's reminding me. So like this, I had this very brief, momentary interaction with this great Vaishnava, and he didn't even look at me, but just by I came into his association, into his bubble. Then he saw, oh, this person has some doubt in his heart, this person has some question in his heart, I'll just eradicate it easily. Like this. And so for just one moment in his association, he addressed the question I had in my heart, but I hadn't shared it with anyone. So what kind of personality is this that can do like that? He can't be from this world. He's a completely Paramahamsa and Mahapurush. Then he was very, 2 days ago, he had surgery. So he's not supposed to leave his bed. But because Gurudev had come with the birthday party, he wanted to get up and he said, I want to show you Radha. So Gurudev's helping him walk into the living room where Radha was there. And then he starts singing, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. But he can't even complete Jaya Kunja Bihari. As he begins to sing, his voice chokes, and tears were exploding from his face as if you turn on the faucet in one of our rooms. Just a complete and total shower was coming from him in ecstasy. And so then he motioned to Gurudev, and Gurudev led a deep side to come in the hospital. So how much affection did he have for Radha Madhava that he couldn't even complete the first line of the bhajan for them before he was transported to their kund, beyond our vision and complete ecstatic system. So what a personality we're dealing with. I can't even begin to talk to you related to his personality or the first looks of his glory, but attempting to capture mercy and begging for the mercy of all that's left here. I pray that you will give me some lessons that I can become first in bhajan and do some good service to the once you talk with you yourself, please listen to the lyrics, please know what I'm and we get this great opportunity to remember the lotus feet of Pujapala Shilapati Mohan Prabhu, who is the Luz del Bhakti Namo. Jai Shilapati Mohan Prabhu ki Jai. Actually, we cannot think that the famous day of the great Acharya, which was Tirumala, can be limited to just a separation moment. Because for those who are actually making and spreading all life in this service, actually in this day we will experience a very special intimacy with him. Because it is also called the separation. Virham means separation, like Virham means Vishesh Rup, very special, very intense, and Raha means Rahasya, very intimate and secret movement. So for those who has given their heart and the lotus feet of their Guru or a special Luz del Bhakti Vaishnava, they
Well, good luck to everyone that we met to him, but it wouldn't have said that we meet a few times, and it was enough to feel the present as our to explain how is to touch. We can see that it was Shanagrada Swami Manasicha, he prayed Yadicha, Samhaja, Visa, Pratijam, Vivadvan, Tachit Parishai, Dumar, Abhirajim, Swarupam, Shirupam, Saram, Janasya, Janati, they say if you want to obtain residence in Braj, if you want to obtain Parishara Seva to Shishira and Krishna, is very intimate service to Shishira and Krishna, then no matter your mind, there is one thing you should do. That is to very carefully and from the core of your heart, always remember and go down and glorify Shishira Goswami, Shishira Goswami, Shishira Goswami, and all their Angarchanis, all their pure devotion of Rupa. So, by doing this, the basic Shiva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Guru Krishna, and also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, by remembering him, glorifying him from the heart, and falling down to him, we can receive his mercy and help. So this proves, if he's saying you can pray to them, which are pure devotees from now, or seven of years ago, if they were, when they left his work and was just there, like a normal person, why should we say pray to them? Because ordinary people, they cannot be contact anymore, they do it like this. So it shows that they are not like the shooting stars, which were shining when he was in his world, and then when his world they disappeared. Well, but each one of the Acharya, and like Srila Mahaprabhu, each one of them is like an eternal shining sun in the sky. Each one of them can reveal completely the eternal beauty of the spiritual world to us. So by being contact with them, we can also obtain such benefits. He said, Natharumanamidana, Vaishnavanavidate, means that the pure devotee, their appearance in this world, but also the disappearance in this world, is not out of karma, like any ordinary people, but they just appear by their own sweet wish. Out of the intense celebrity in the heart, they want to appear in this world again and again, and to manifest, to contribute in the mission of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Then, so there is one verse which Srila Gurudeva said, that Pujapad Shastri Prajan Prabhu used to say that Srila Fakir Mahaprabhu very often called to glorify the Vaishnava. So just like we can use a Ganga water to glorify Ganga, I can use this verse to use the water to glorify Vaishnava Chaitanare Devana Sakati Kirvaneshiva Moy Amal Kamati. It means that the appearance day of the Supreme Lord, it is very secret also, but the Devatas, they can understand when it happens. So for example, we can see when the Supreme Lord was in the womb of Devaki, they all appear in the sky and praying to him, even before his appearance, when he was in the womb. They know he is going to appear, the Supreme Lord. But we can see that when the pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb of his mother, then all the devatas, they were thinking, oh, this is the son of Hiranyakashipu, will be a great danger. We have to kill him. So then means they don't know in the womb will be Prahlad Maharaj. They can know when the Supreme Lord appears, but they don't know when the pure devotee are appearing. It shows that the appearance of a pure devotee is even more confidential than the appearance of the Supreme Lord. And then, Adam Alpamati means, how can a person like me, who is so low, with low intelligence and material attachment, ever be able to glorify such personality? You know, that even the Devatas, they cannot understand when he's appearing. So we heard that how when he was very young, 5 years old, his beautiful year with Srila Guru Govinda Maharaj, then at the age of 9, he left home, ran away and joined the mat. And Gurudeva said his seva there was to serve all the Vaishnava, and also he was taking the reception there, as his seva was to
give make sure that welcome all the guests who was coming and going, and make sure that all will get some Mahaprasad. And there happened that one Grihasta, whose name was Abhay Charanaravinda, as our Srila A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, also used to come and go from there. So they were discussing and exchanging this Mahaprasada. So Gurudeva said even from the very young age of 9, he already was having such association and served in Srila Prabhupada. And even later in his age, Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu used to say that that time in the mat before the Brahmachari, when he was very young, it was the best time of my life because I could just be fully engaged in serving the Vaishnava. You can see how
amazing how much sincerity, which is the real decoration of the Vaishnava. His heart is only interested in very simple seva to other Vaishnavas.
Then after some time, when Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur left, then they suggested him to take initiation from Kanupriya Goswami. And so he went there to Kanupriya Goswami and take shelter of him. And Kanupriya Goswami was a very exalted, pure devotee in a renounced order, even though his line is a family line where everybody is married and make sure to have children to continue the parampara. But he was the only one who decided to get completely renounced, and because he was fully dedicated only to the Harinam Kirtan, to Nam Bhajan. So he instructed to Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu that you must be also focused in Nam Bhajan, but also your Vaishnava Seva, your service to the community of Vaishnava should be to go to university. So he went to study to Utkal University, and there you should learn Sanskrit and be very expert in all the Grantha. You should do Grantha Seva. This is your to be expert in Shastra and know them very well so you can help all the Vaishnava community, you know? Like this. So this is what he did, and he received many types of doctorate and PhD, and one of them was entitled The Footprints of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Orissa. So there he discovered so many beautiful places, many secret places that no one else has discovered, and he also revealed some of these secret places of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to our Srila Gurudeva, and also our Srila Gurudeva brought us, if you remember, to some secret places in Navadvip where no one else, I think, maybe very few Vaishnavas have been there. So his Gurudev, Kanupriya Goswami, he brought, was so expert in Nam Bhajan that he brought 6 volumes about the glories of the holy name, especially describing how you cannot enter by force Lila Smaran or Manasik Seva, because at that time, also today, but especially at that time, was very strong the influence of the idea that by your own mind you can forcefully imagine what is your spiritual form in the Lila, how is the Lila, how is the form of Krishna, like this. And secondary will be take shelter of the holy name. But he was following the example of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how he wrote in Jeva Dharma, in Bhajan Rahasya, and also in Harinam Chintamani, how you, by taking shelter of the holy name and Vaishnava Seva, then gradually you can enter into Lila Smaran. And all this he wrote it following the exact teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Shikshastakam, so it's completely authentic. So also Kanupriya Goswami exactly brought this 6 volume on Harinam, the glories of Harinam. And there he very often used to quote one verse of Sri Rupa Goswami which says, Avir Bhuyamano Vritto Varjantat Swarupatam Swam Prakasha Rupapi Basamana Prakashavat, which means that the holy name makes an Avirbhav, just like a Supreme Lord appear as an avatar in this world. Also Nam Prabhu, which is non-different from Shri Krishna, can appear in the Chitta Vritti, in the heart, with all his Rup, Gun, Parikar and Lila, in the heart of the devotee. And he also used to say, Kirtana Prabhave Smarana Koibe, means by the power of Kirtan, then Smaran will come automatically. So Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu, he is also an example of this. I can share one memories when it was in Vrindavan here, I think it was during Kartik, if I remember correctly. Srila Gurudeva invited us to his house, and he also was after another heart operation. And when we entered the room, I can remember him that there was a bed, and then there was Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu with our Srila Guru Deva there, and Fakir Mohan Prabhu was saying to the devotee was entering like one by one, and to everyone he was very enthusiastic, but with a lot of tears, like this type of enthusiasm, like you must do it now. And he was saying to everybody, you must take shelter of the holy name, chant Hare Krishna, you should, to everyone. He was maybe 30, to all of them, very seriously. He was saying this and crying. So this I remember, to see this person with this mood, it really gives you a deep impression in the heart of the importance of taking shelter, because we can, of the holy name. We can hear from so many people to chant Hare Krishna, but which word will actually enter the heart and will force you to actually do it, inspire you to do it? That will be the real preaching, because he has a realization. And he was saying, even after you are chanting, when you are doing seva, Guru Seva, also you should continuously chant. Continuously chant when you're also doing seva. And then in the end of your life, when you will be older like me, what will happen? The holy name will come by force to you. Even in your dream, all the lila will come by force to you. And there was his servant there, and he shared one thing, not in front of Fakir Mohan Prabhu, later, privately. He told that when Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu was in the hospital, during the heart operation, with anesthetic, full anesthetic, nobody can speak. During heart operation means your chest is open and they are working on it, lots of blood and things. And all the doctor went out to call his servant and said, look, something very strange is happening. We are operating him, and he is always continuously chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. These cannot be ordinary things. No? You can make a fake show of preaching, of chanting and so on, but these you can see only from the word of the devotee and from the act in their life, what is going on in their life. No? Nam Prabhu is coming by force. As he told, this is what was happening. And then he composed one pranam mantra for his Guru Deva, which is this one. Nama Vijnana Vai Chitri Vicharya Acharya Vigraham Goswami Paramam Bande Srimat Kanu Priyam Prabhu, which means I bow down to the illustrious Goswami named Kanupriya Prabhu, who is the embodiment of the practice and the theory regarding all the astonishing realization of the power of the holy name. So this is just amazing to see how much importance to the power of the holy name and chanting. No? This we can keep it as a gift from today in our life. I also want to engage more and more in the shelter of the holy name. Then one thing I wanted to share is that, as Narsingh already told, the important contribution to discover to Shishirada Madhav is, you know, it is said from Yamunacharya, he told that Maya Balena Vibhutat Vibhuyamanam Pashanti Kechidanisham Tadananya Bhamam. That the Supreme Lord, he is very expert, Shri Krishna is very expert in hiding. Nobody can find him. Especially for those who are ulterior motive, not seva vritti, but bhoga vritti, then he's hiding behind the curtain of gunas. Nobody can see him. This is doxaj. But Pashanti Kechid Anisham Tadananya Bhavam. To those who are ananbhav, means one-pointed in devotion, then Pashanti, they can see him right now. Therefore, Radha Madhav became visible to him, because he is one-pointed to the lotus feet of his Guru, one-pointed to the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Therefore, Radha Madhav cannot hide for him. They hide so long from so many other, but not from him. No? Yam eva shashi virinotena labhyas tasyash atma vivrinotetanum swam. The Supreme Lord himself decides to reveal himself to the person he chooses. So he is choosing to whom reveal. And one last point is, I want to share is a very important contribution, is that he find the very sacred place, we can say the Pushpa Samadhi of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because as you know, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world, he entered directly the deities of Gopinath, Tota Gopinath in Jagannath Puri, but left out, as fell down, his Kontimala, Tulsimala here, and the garland, mala, flower garland, and his uttarya, is the upper clothes of sannyasi, no? Fell down. So Gadar Pandit, with so much love, this was only things what was left from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So with so much love, he put it in like a samadhi there, and he put the padachin, the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, on top. And then it was lost for so many hundreds of years, nobody could find it. But then one day, Sri Fakir Mohan Prabhu, researching in so many Oriya accounts and historical books and so on, he find out that Gadar Pandit has placed this in the backside of the temple, the mandir. So everybody was searching in the backside, nobody could find. But then Fakir Mohan Prabhu was the first one to find out that actually the temple in the beginning, in the time of Mahaprabhu, was more closer to the path, to the main path. And only recently, this was moved backside. So everybody was searching backside of the temple of now, but actually they had to search in the front. So everybody was searching in the wrong place. But he was the first one, being cannot be in ordinary things. Being a Gora Priyajana, Mahaprabhu revealed, no? So therefore, he went there and excavating, then they saw the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, and then a very effulgent light came out from there, and then they find out this is the place that Mahaprabhu things are left. So they made a very beautiful tiny temple there, you can see in Tota Gopinath today. So then I just want to conclude, so don't speak too much. Here we can see is the Pushpa Samadhi of Fakir Mohan Prabhu. He is not just a it is not like by chance that he's staying here, because actually, you know, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he used to come to Vrindavan, he used to give Harikatha just next door here to the Lal Babu temple. And we know how Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu is so connected, like one heart with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he residing here eternally, together singing the bhajan and listening to each other, the Harikatha. Altogether. So when we are speaking about him and glorifying him, actually we can feel his presence. So this is the most important things that we can do. And in conclusion, I only want to say, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Durga me patimendasya skalat padagatar muhu swakripaya sthidanena santva santva avalambanam, which means although I am in this path of bhakti, but due to my contamination, greed, lust, duplicity, and so on, I keep on falling down again and again, again and again. So I need a stick. Somebody should keep me on, should keep me up, so that I can walk, no, in this path. I keep on falling down. And the Swakripaya Shthidanena means the kripa of the saint is my stick. Therefore, I'm praying today that Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu, even may he not remember me for sure, I'm an insignificant jiva, I'm lucky to meet him, but that maybe he can sprinkle some mercy on me, I can also become some Vaishnava in future life. So, Jai Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu ki Jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo.
Madana Lasa, Mata, you have brought a book here. Would you want to say something about this book and on this joyful occasions?
Laat ik maar eerst spreken, want je hebt heel verhaal.
And then I'll speak.
Thank you, Maharaj. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Samite Gaur Govinda Swamini Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Samite Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasharine Nirvisesa Sulimani Prashata Destarine. Vansikalpa Trupyasya Kripasindu Bevacha Patitanam Pavale Vishnu Bevorma. So the Prabhu, he was just speaking before me. Prabhu, what is your name? Prabhu? Madhav. Hare Krishna Prabhu. You mentioned at the end that you met Maharaj, Fakir Mohan Prabhu, and you wonder if he remembers you. He remembers everybody. Sometimes, you know, some insignificant person would meet him, and after so many years, he would meet him again, and Maharaj asked him, "How are you doing? I met you there and there." So we have many instances of that remembrance, and that is also like one of his wonderful qualities. So this place, Choti Mangalpur, the place of Sri Sri Radha Madhav, this year, 2025, it is the 25th year first after coming that Sri Sri Radha Madhav came to Vrindavan. So for that occasion, he published this book, reprinted this book, which was of course published by Gopalchu Publications by Fakimohan Maharaj himself in the 90s. And we have to remember that in those days there was no Google Maps. So Google Maps nowadays you just push there Jyoti and you can find it. But in those days it was not that knowledge was Google Maps was not there. So you have to personally go to the places and find out which village is where. And Kendrapara is like the biggest village city in the neighborhood. And of course everybody knows that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the headmaster there. He established that school. And so he was quite well remembered in that area. And Fakimohan Maharaj is a research scholar, Sanskrit research scholar. And so he was very good at researching, not only from the books, but also he went to those places. And ultimately he found those places, Jyoti, but there was no Radha Madhav. So he went to the many houses there, where is Radha Madhav, and there were Radha Krishna, Radha Shyamsundar, some other deities, but no Radha Madhav. And then one person, a dancer, remembered, when I was little, I used to dance for the Radha Madhav, so they must be there. And like Prabhu mentioned that they have been broken, maybe, but Radharani was made of brass and Krishna is from stone. So maybe Krishna could have been broken, Madhava, but not Radharani. So there was some fishy there. And so in 1999 there was a super cyclone. The cyclone missed Jagannath Puri because Jagannath Puri is so powerful. It split. The water split from both sides, and it basically hurt the Kendrapara district the most. And this village Choti, which is 10 kilometers from Kendrapara, was heavily affected, and also there were many houses, huts were affected, and also one hut where they found deities. And they informed Fakimohan Prabhu. He came there and he saw the deities. And what he especially saw is that on the lotus base of Radharani, there is this Sri Rupadas mentioned. So he could find out that this is like the long lost Radha Madhava who have been there. So speaking about Sripat Fakimohan Maharaj, a pure devotee, he is merciful, wonderful. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead is supremely merciful and wonderful. But we cannot understand how wonderful they are. Because they were buried for 50 years. Completely over with dust and grey things, like heavy layers. So only then they could, after a lot of polishing and cleaning, they could find the Swarup of Radha Madhav, and but that happened afterwards. So this Brahmin, this shattered hut, Fakimohan made a deal with him. Please give me Radha Madhav, I will give you some money, you can build your new house. And Fakimohan was very intelligent. He asked him to sign a letter, like an indemnification, to not make any claims on Radha Madhav for future. Because we know this is India, and if you don't do something like that, they will come back and say they are my deities, and it's a big problem. So there was some politics in that village. Some other families, they stole the land of Radha Madhav. Like Ram Lalla, Ayodhya. They built a temple down for him, and they had to have long court cases. For 500 years they have been trying to get the Ayodhya temple back. So like that, Fakimohan Maharaj went to court to get the land back. And he got the land back in the name of the Radha Madhava deities. So, and this is before Ram Lalla. Everybody, it's beautiful that Ram Lalla has his land back. But Fakimohan fought in the court and got the land of Choti back in the name of Radha Madhava. So these are, things that which are like unimaginable. So Maharaj, he was always more in his books, studying in books. He was not much into deity worship. He had personal small deities, but he did it very simply. So he was not like looking for the Radhamara deities as like deities to worship, like officially, but like you both mentioned, they manifest before the pure devotee. And who else than our Guru Maharaj, Govinda Swami? He mentioned that this Fakimohan Maharaj is looking for the place of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He said that Fakimohan Maharaj is the most knowledgeable person in the world on Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his books and his songs. And he said, in his endeavor to find this all out, he will encounter many dangers and problems, but in the end he will be victorious. So as his disciples, it is also our pleasure and our obligation to help with this thing, and that's why we are involved in helping Fakimohan Maharaj and with this legacy. So this 25 years, now they are coming to Vrindavan. The first chairman of the Bhaktivinoda Thakur Trust, Sripad Swarup Damodar Maharaj, he said, how many people know about Jyoti? How many people will come to Jyoti? There was no temple there, still there is not so much there. So he said, let them go to Kartik Vrindavan, because all ISKCON devotees, all Vaishnavas, they come from all over the world for Kartik in Vrindavan. And so since 2000 they have been coming to the Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir, and they are on the altar of Radha Shamsundar, and ever since there. So I met Maharaj only in 97 or something, when he was already in the Krishna Tower. But in 96, when our Guru Maharaj left, he was already in the guest house, preaching very loudly about what to do when the Guru leaves. So when everybody who has heard him personally, they will know that even if he was in his 60s at that time, he would speak very loudly. So if you were in the courtyard, you could follow him, because in the room, everybody was like packed up in the room, and they were hanging in the windows to listen to him. So I couldn't get there, but I was in the courtyard. You could follow everything. So I heard him, I saw him briefly, but I didn't speak with him. And after getting initiation in 95, I found out later on, one of the first things my Guru Maharaj asked me to do is to review the draft legal papers for a Vedic university. So later I found out that Fakimohan Maharaj, he was the founder of the Vedic university. He was supposed to lead it with his doctorates and his knowledge and his network of professors. They would come and teach Sanskrit, philosophy, all these things. And so I found later on that my connection with Maharaj already started there somehow. Found out much later. Let me see what I just wrote up to present. Yeah, so this booklet, because of the 25 years jubileum coming to Vrindavan, is reprinted, and it's a free gift for all of you. So you can take one copy, which are down there in the box just right now. So next to me is now Deep Chandra Prabhu, and Fakimohan Maharaj, he stayed with him in his flat for many years. So I would request him to also say something about those intimate dealings with him, because being with a Vaishnava, pure devotee, in close proximity, is like we all try to, it's like our dream come true, isn't it? So it is his dream, and it came true. Hare Krishna, Fakimohan Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastha Bhutale Srimati Govinda Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastha Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shrivadi Paschata Deshitarine. Pancha Kalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas. So I'll give you a little bit of history. I first came into contact with Maharaj in 1996 when our Srila Gurudev left the planet and all the glorifications were going on, and at that time he came over to give his glorification. But he was speaking in Oriya, so I didn't understand much. But I could see that he was very well appreciated, very well respected. And then next time I met him was likewise with, as Anupam Prabhu said, I came to Orissa and he was giving class at Krishna Towers, and I heard this beautiful singing of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song. Anybody had heard Fakir Mohan Maharaj sing? He had the most captivating voice. He was just incredible. And he didn't need any books, he just knew them off by heart. He knew all the songs, knew the deep meanings. He could in fact spontaneously just quote a line from a verse if he had to, or a verse from a song if he had to. He could practically sing the whole verse, whole song, if he needed to. But if he was making a pertinent point somewhere, he could go to a particular line, he could go to a particular verse in that bhajan and make his point. So I became captivated. I thought, wow, this is amazing. And if I can recall correctly, at that time, it struck a chord in my heart because he was singing that bhajan of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where Thakur is saying, he's teaching us, I'm envious. When I see good in people, I become unhappy. When I see people becoming unhappy, I feel happy. And I think that resonated with somebody like me. And I thought, yes, very powerful. And then he went on to explain it, and he was laughing away. And you could see that he was teaching us not to be like that. Then a couple of years later, he was invited to UK, and again, I met him there. He came to our ashram, he spoke, and when he spoke, it was always about the holy name, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and our Gurudev was also very much speaking about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so that resonated, that there is this sadhu who deeply understands the Acharya's words, Acharya's teachings, Acharya's songs. So and then it happened over the years. I gradually became more and more attached. You couldn't help being attached once you met him. He was very merciful, very, very kind, and he allowed me to personally serve him, and I'd drive him around when he would come to UK. I would attend all the classes, and they were mesmerizing, absolutely mesmerizing. Then he started coming to Vrindavan, and I had a place in Omax, and before that I rented some rooms and I'd stay with him. So I've jotted down some, I've got a Kali Yuga memory. He would laugh at me, he says, you've got a Kali Yuga memory, you don't remember much. And I said, yeah, I've got a Kali Yuga memory. So in Kali Yuga, my partial memory is this little thing here. So I've written some things down, and I've also picked up some points. Your name, Prabhu? Madhav Das, and was it Nrsimha Prabhu? Yeah. So I picked up some points from them, and I thought I'd revisit them as well, because they're very, very important points. So here we are. I'm going to go in a sort of chronological, come methodical format. So, first of all, Maharaj, thank you for arranging this program. Brajavarnu Prabhu, wherever he is, where is he? Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you again, our eternal gratitude for this arranging this program and for this beautiful samadhi of Maharaj. Maharaj, I'm sure, has endowed blessings, multiple blessings on both of you. So thank you very, very much. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled Vaishnavas. And we are missing Prem Prayojan Prabhu. Say Hare Krishna to him. I was really looking forward to seeing him today. So please convey my regards to him. So I'll start off with his life. Okay? Let's start off with Sri Radha Madhav. So people have mentioned, Anupam Prabhu's mentioned, other Prabhu's mentioned that he knew somehow, when you spoke to him, you almost felt that he knew about Radha Madhav. He knew they were existing. And when he spoke as if Radha Madhav were instructing him directly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was guiding him directly. That's the impression I always got. And he would speak with such conviction, and he would pinpoint songs, lines of songs where he would determine the evidence that Radha Madhav, how he found them. So he had spoken to some Matajis, very elderly Matajis, who had described Radha Madhav to him. So he knew the color, he knew what Radharani looked like. So and we know that a lot of the land in Choti, I don't know if you know, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur had put them in Radha Madhav's name. So the land in Choti were in Radha Madhav's name, and Bimal Prasad's name, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's name. So obviously, if somebody had Radha Madhav, means they had that land. It could be their land. So a lot of people claim that the deities were Radha Madhav, obviously, because they were interested in the land. But Maharaj knew, said no, they don't fit the description. And when somebody said that when Madhav had been damaged and been immersed in the river, he said, but Radharani is Chakshak, she is made of brass. How can she be immersed in the river? So then we had this superstorm where everything was practically destroyed, and this altar in this Brahman's house was still standing, and the deities were there, and they were covered, but from the altar of Radharani, where Radharani's feet are, it says Sri Rupa Dasa. So he immediately realized, who is Sri Rupa Dasa? That was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he realized this is the actual Radha Madhav. So I used to, when he would come and I would be able to serve him in Kartik, he would sleep on the bed and I'd be sleeping on a bed on the side. And very often he'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd wake up thinking, is he okay? Is he okay? And he'd be singing a bhajan, one of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's bhajan. And you could see that all he was thinking about day and night was about Radha Madhav and Bhaktivinoda Thakur's bhajans. And because he would find some pramana, some evidence that, yes, because he says, I'm convinced. He says, I don't need convincing. But he says, others may need convincing. And he says, when I talk about Radha Madhav, I want to talk as a professor, as a research student, not as a Vaishnava. Because I have to provide evidence to all the Vaishnava community and to even all the scholars. There must be an answer why this is the original Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Radha Madhav. So it happened one day And he woke up, I distinctly remember it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And he was saying, Narada Muni, Bhajahavina, you know. And I was thinking, okay. And then I woke up, and he said, come. And he opened up the bhajan. And he says, I was thinking of so many bhajans, but here it is. It says in this Narada Muni Bhajahavina, the 6th verse, Sri Krishna Name Rasaneswari Puralo Amara Asha Sri Rupa Pade Yachai Iha Bhakti Vinoda Dasa. So he says this is the only verse signature where Bhakti Vinod Thakur has said Sri Rupa Pade. I mean, out of hundreds and hundreds of songs, you can imagine what a scholar he was and how well he knew Bhakti Vinod Thakur's song. He woke up in the middle of the night and he read this line to me. Okay? So it gives you a glimpse how well he knew Bhakti Vinod Thakur's songs. So if you at the altar of the lotus feet of Radharani, it says Rupa, Sri Rupa Dasa, and the only song Bhakti Vinod Thakur addresses himself as Sri Rupa Dasa is this song. So the English translation is, the holy name of Krishna has fulfilled all my desires by vibrating on everyone's tongue. Bhakti Vinod therefore prays at the feet of Sri Rupa Goswami that the chanting of Hari Nam may continue like this always. So I came in when Nishinga Prabhu was speaking. Thank you. It was a very beautiful glorification. And did you mention his birth? I don't want to go through everything again.
Not the full details on not the Tithi.
Right.
The Tithi is special.
So Maharaj was born in Jagat Singarpur district of Orissa. And he never had the desire of staying home. He was just totally renounced, wasn't attached. I heard the bit where you talked about the Muslim priest who gave him the name of Fakir. And he had no possessions, and he'd often laugh because Fakir means who is poor, who's desolate, and who has no possessions. So he would laugh. He says, I have no home, I have no mutt, I have no disciples. So I'm a fakir. But he had everything because he had the holy name, he had Krishna in his heart. So actually he had everything. And he'd often say, he was a professor, he had some pension. He was often offered a piece of land. And at times when he would say, maybe I should buy this piece of land. Then he said, no, this is Maya. He says, I don't want this piece of land. Then he said, why would I want, what would he call it? Grinding stone around my neck. He says, why would I want that? And then he would laugh, and then he would quote that very famous story of that brahmachari who was told to read Bhagavad Gita, and the mouse was nibbling at his shoe. Then he had a cat, then a cow, then a wife, and he had a whole samsara where he was supposed to do bhajan. So he said, I don't want to get involved in that. I don't want land, I don't want anything. He would laugh like that. So he left home very young. Initiation from Kanupriya Goswami, you mentioned that? Yeah. And so every morning, I would see him. He would have his chanting beats, photo of Kanupriya Maharaj, and he would have the Ashman pot. And he'd wake up to a beautiful, glorification of Gurudev. He would sing Gurudev Kripa Bindudiya, Shri Guru Charana Padma. He'd sing all these songs. And then he would worship the Tulsi bead, the Krishna bead. He says, it's not different from Krishna. Holy name is not different. And he says, before I start my day, I have to worship my Gurudev, Krishna, then I start my day. How was his day? He used to chant 64 rounds a day, by the way, every day. And I know when I chant the holy name, I'm struggling to be attentive. But he had taste. He couldn't stop being attentive. He was just attentive all the time, always completely immersed in the holy name. I had a good fortune of traveling with him on the plane once, coming to India. And the whole way he just chanted. I slept, I had prasad. I chanted a few rounds, looked around, got distracted like you do. And he was just sitting there and chanting. And I said, Maharaj, how many rounds did you manage to chant? He said, all and more. Yes, he was just there. So he served in Gaudiya Math most of his life. And we all have hobbies, but his hobby was to serve Vaishnavas. And he used to bring hot water for senior Vaishnavas and sing kirtan. He was a Nastika brahmachari. He was told by his Gurudev never to have disciples, never to have a mutt, rent a house, or even own a house. An instruction he followed all his life. I used to tell him, how come you know all these kirtans? I mean, scholastically he was a genius anyway. But he used to say, if you have Nam Ruchi, surrender to the holy name, all knowledge will come automatically. So I said, but yeah, I'm a fallen soul and I'm not Nam Ruchi, and what should I do? And he says, well, my secret was, he says, Haath se kaam, work with your hands, mukh se naam, chant the holy name. So he says, that was always my thing. And when I would be bringing buckets of hot water, serving prasad or a reception, I'd be reciting all bhajans, holy name. So that's how I managed to learn all these bhajans. So some golden nuggets on the holy name and his deep realizations which he shared. He said, Mahaprabhu, he said, he would take prasad from a Lakshapati, somebody who chants 1 lakh names. Therefore, personally, he said, I have to chant 64 rounds. He used to chant 64 rounds. And I told you how he remembers all these songs. Haath seva mukhe Krishna naam. So haath se seva, mukhe se Krishna naam. He never engaged in prajalpa. And whilst constantly serving, would chant these verses and Harinam. In fact, by Harinam, one can get blessings, can get the intelligence to understand and remember. So he used to say, I mean, if anybody heard him, they'd become attached to the holy name. If they had any doubts, holy name. Medicine, holy name. Want to find a guru, holy name will find your guru. Everything was holy name. So if somebody ever differentiated the holy name, we would say, Naam Vigraha Swarup Vinayata Rup. Holy name, none different from the Lord. Naam Chintamani Krishna, it will fulfill all your desires, your spiritual desires. The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful and it bestows all spiritual benedictions. Harinam Prabhu will give you everything. Sadguru, friend. And we used to say about, we're chanting offensively. And he says, Naam can never be offensive. Naam is always pure but covered. It says, from sunshine, like a cloud, and these are our apparatus, they're clouds, they're covering the sunshine. But soon as this cloud is lifted, offenseless, pure name comes. We went to Govardhan once, and he asked a sannyasi, he asked him, what is higher, second initiation or Harinam, and why? So we're all thinking, we all have our speculation, different understandings. And what does everybody here think? Harinam or second initiations, what are your thoughts?
Well, if you believe in fakir, you better do Harinam.
It has to be Harinam. So, why Harinam? So, obviously, like us, the sannyasi said, Harinam, of course, because he knew where Fakir Maharaj was coming from. So, and he said, why? And I said, don't know. So I said, what are the offenses of chanting the holy name? One of the offenses is to consider any auspicious ritualistic activities on the level of above or chanting of the holy name. This says if we consider anything, any ritualistic activity above the holy name, it's an offense. So Harinam initiation is the most important. So Bhagavad Gita Mahatmya describes Upanishad as cows, the one who milks the cow as Krishna, Arjuna as the calf. So what is the source of the milk? How does the cow produce milk? Love and affection, but it has to be nourished with something physically. If you're using the analogy of the Upanishad as the cows, what milks the cows as Krishna, Arjuna as the calf, so what is the source of the milk? It's the grass. Yeah? And what Maharaj said was, grass is the holy name of Krishna. Everything comes back to the holy name. So, devotees asked him once about his Siddha Pranali and how to achieve it. Sometimes we want things very quickly. In the West, we want immediate gratification, immediate results. We have got the patience. We don't want tapasya. And but Maharaj gave a very fitting reply. He said, Harinam will give you everything. He says, Siddha Pranali and everything will come. Just chant, Leela, Swarup, everything will be revealed. Talking about humility, it's quite humorous to see his spontaneous humility. So once at Govardhan again, a senior Prabhupada disciple asked Maharaj to sit down with them for prasad. Of course, I also got to sit down. It was one of the advantages. And the monkey always gets to sit with the master. So quoting all senior Vaishnavas, sit here, to which Maharaj replied. So Maharaj, they asked him, what is, you're a senior Vaishnava, sit here. He said, I'm not a Vaishnava. Very humble, very spontaneous. So the Prabhupada disciple retorted, if you're not a Vaishnava, what are you then? And he replied, I'm just a monkey, to which everyone burst out laughing. Very, very humble, very humble. He would choke up with tears when remembering our Srila Gurudev and Sripad Maharaj. In deep viraha, missing them a lot. I would see that very often. And he would say, they've left me and I'm not doing bhajan. Okay? He was doing bhajan because that's all he did day and night, I would say it. But he always felt, I'm not doing bhajan. Then on another occasion, one senior sannyasi came to see him and asked him, how could I be of service? He said, Maharaj, I want to serve you. How can I be of service? He was laughing. He said, just beat me with your shoes. He says, to which sannyasi replied, I think of you daily when I worship the cloth you gave me of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. To which Fakir Maharaj replied, if you remember me daily, then you should definitely beat me even harder with your shoes. One visiting sannyasis would ask him, what are you giving class on? He would reply, Maharaj, I'm not giving class. He said, only Ishta Gosti. They're asking questions and I'm giving answers. Another occasion he came, he said, I didn't know what I was going to speak in Vrindavan. He said, I've just come here. But he says, Dhameshwar is so merciful that he tells me what to speak. He would speak very spontaneously. He would often attribute the completion of his daily thesis, which I'll mention later, to the blessings of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj with such gratitude. Of course, he was very, very senior, but this was just his humility. A senior devotee came and I said, I'm your servant, I would like to serve you. He said, that's not possible because I'm the servant of your servant. So how can you serve me? This is a really nice one. Often devotees would say, he would come and say, Maharaj, I want to give you donations. And he would laugh and say, I'm not a tax collector. And he says, when Radha Madhav needs some donations, I'll ask. But he says, at the moment, I don't need anything. And I don't know if anyone who had met him, when you'd offer obeisances, he would always offer them back with great respect. You see, everybody is a Vaishnava. He'd see himself as the most forward. And in a somber mood sometimes, when he was really deep, he would say, Navdeep, I'm Namashray and Sharnagat. That time he would reveal to me that he's surrendered to the holy name and completely dependent on the holy name. Have we got time, or everybody? Somebody else. Okay. So thank you very much. Vanchakalpatruvishcha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Fatimon Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Govinda Maharaj disappeared? Uh-huh. Okay, then I ask Shonaka to say some words on this occasion.
Jai Namo Vishnu Krishna Saitale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Name Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyvari Paschachi. Fakir Mohan tells the truth, and I have to tell the truth. Last year was the first time I even got to know about Fakir Mohan. And of course, I'm also missing Prem Parojana because he spoke so nicely also last year. So anything that you've heard, I can't even think of giving something extra, Oh, it's just so beautiful. I know that Srila Prabhupada, when he was here in Vrindavan, he wrote a prayer because so many people were asking about the Siddha Pranali and everything. So he wrote a prayer that leads up to Bhakti Siddhanta saying, chant loudly, like really hard. You have to chant loudly. And then I think it's Vrindavan Bhajan, the poem. And then the next verse, he describes the Leela Smaranam. So he's leading up to this. He describes the Leela Smaranam of the Goswamis. And then he talks about his guru. And then he says, he gave it to me. So if you follow it, and you don't use the word Siddha Pranali, but his chanting loudly gave him Siddha Pranali, and he's using the Goswamis, not me, but they are in Leela Smaranam. They have Siddha Pranali, and everybody knows that they have Siddha Pranali, and he gave that to me. He doesn't say Siddha Pranali, but you have to follow the way that Prabhupada's saying it. And it just brings you up so. So all this other stuff. And when somebody says, oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not give Siddha Pranali to Bhakti Siddhanta, so his brother must be higher than him. He didn't have to. He didn't have to, and he saw, I don't have to give my son Siddha Pranali. He's in Leela Smaranam. And the deity being here, because Paramadvaita knows I'm worthless in collecting and selling books and so many times in Central America, and the only thing I can do is puja. So I'm pretty worthless, just puja. So Prabhupada made a statement that, just came out just the other day. I saw it. And Prabhupada says, those who are pujaris are in Leela Smaranam 24 hours a day. And I said, thank you, Prabhupada. Because everybody's always quoting those people that ring bells in temples. They are, useless. But now Prabhupada's saying, no, you are in Leela Smaranam every day. So I get, that's the one point that I thought was important that you're talking about. And to see a deity like this, I got 1,000 Shaligram Shilas, but if I see this deity, my God. Okay, thank you very much.
So this appearance of the spiritual master is the occasion for coming together and associating with devotees. So Govinda Maharaj, you can elaborate on that.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glories to my Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Puri Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and with all of associates, Srila Prabhupada, I give Dandavat Pranam to all of Rupanuga Guru Varga, here present my Shiksha Guru, Sannyas Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Alak Paramadhanti Swami Maharaj, all of elder, my elder godfather, and all of devotees, brahmacharis present, Bhajarana Prabhu. So, today is the disappearance of my Shiksha Guru, Srila Fakir Mohan Prabhu. I heard Fakir Mohan Prabhu make one great thing for Vaishnava, which here we are not remember, anyone not remembered, but I remembered. He discovered holy Pushpa Samadhi and cloth Samadhi of Mahaprabhu in Brajadhara Prabhu is right, he discovered in Tota Gopinath. And this renovation by his own hand renovation by Brajadhara Prabhu, I have this photo. He is young this time. So, why we are celebrate the disappearance day? Because when Guru born, they are born as a normal, except Bimala Prasad Saraswati Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he appeared as a Vaishnava and disappeared as a Vaishnava. So, I asked about this to my Srila Gurupad Padwa, why we are arrange the big disappearance ceremony for every Guru disappearance. Say, because devotees always want Gurudeva stay in beautiful place, and Golok Vrindavan is a beautiful place. This is the material world. Kali Yuga is here. But Kali, from where come Kali? Kali come Adharma. After Kurukshetra, after Kurukshetra war, they are put fire to everyone, and from this black smoke, Kali coming. But Kali have a good thing. In Kali Yuga, Kali say, No yoga, no big things, no Ashwamedh yoga, only Haridam yoga, Haridam Sankirtan. So, when Gurudev leave this material world and he enter on Golok Vrindavan, so we are celebrate the disappearance. Oh, my Gurudev now go to Radha and Krishna. So the Vaishnava wish this. And about the Radha Madhav deity, I heard from many of Bengali, Ramakrishna is the pujari of the creation temple. Actually, Radha Govinda temple. This is we are called Kali temple. This is Radha Govinda temple, and it's related with the Bhaktivinoda Thakur family. Rani Rasmani's husband is the brother of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, cousin brother, because both is come from Govinda Datta. Hello, Hare Krishna. Okay. You heard? Yes. So, one time the Radha Govinda deity continue in the Krishna temple. This is the family deity of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And one of the pujari, Vaishnava pujari, on the time of Ramakrishna, he every day he worshipped the Radha Govinda, gives service to Radha Govinda. One day it's fallen from the hand. And then Rani Rasmani, Queen Rasmani, Hare Krishna, Queen Rasmani decided he make Visarjan, make Jal Samadhi to Ganga. This is Radha Govinda. Then Ramakrishna had listened. Ramakrishna ran and said, Rani Ma, oh Queen, oh Madam, Rani Ma, not doing this. Rani Ma means Queen. Not doing this. Say, why? This is a broken. Hand is broken. Say, Rani Ma, you have no son. You have son-in-law. And Mathuranath is your best son-in-law. If Mathuranath Prabhu broken the hand, then you throw it in Ganga? Say, no. So repair. So repair. Until this Radha Govinda deity worshipped in Radha Govinda temple, in called the Krishna Kali temple, Anandamayi, now present Bhavatarini, means who rescued from the material world. So Ramakrishna worship this the Kali deity as a Yogamaya. But same, our Guru Vargas said, Krishna is the full body is Krishna. Not only face is the Krishna. Krishna's hand Krishna, Krishna's finger Krishna, Krishna's every part of the body is Krishna. Krishna can playing with the finger, eating with the finger, okay, eating by any part. Full body is Krishna. So, Fakir Mohan Prabhu, my Shiksha Guru, rescued the Radha Madhav, which Radha Madhav they are want to make Jal Samadhi. We are not said throw Jal Samadhi. So either we are missing the Bhaktivinoda Thakur family deity. I heard from one of my Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhakti Bhaiva Puri Goswami Maharaj, on his, not direct, on his class, I heard this Radha Madhav, not only from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur not manifest. This is the family deity of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Datta family. And this Radha Madhav manifested 1 minute. this Radha Madhav manifested on the time of Nityananda Prabhu. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a Datta family. Is Datta family called Kerani, Vaidya. It's not a Brahman family, not a Kshatriya family, not a Vaishya family. Between Vaishya and Kshatriya is the Vaidya. But Nityananda Prabhu always living for rescue everyone with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He living on the Vaishya, sometime in Vaishya family, sometime in Vaidya family, not living Brahman family. And he living 1 month continuing Ula Datta family house, which is belong Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, Fakirman Prabhu giving us many things, many opportunities also for chanting in front of Mahaprabhu Samadhi, with nicely restoration by our Brajarenu Prabhu. I have this photo, continue, and worship, pray to Radha Madhav for God mercy, get the mercy from Nityananda Prabhu, from the Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We are never forget, we are Bhaktivinoda Dhara. And Bhaktivinoda Dhara, one thing is the very good things, which I many times heard from my Shiksha Guru Srila Bhaktivinoda Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. All Acharya of our Bhaktivinoda Dhara, Prempojana Prabhu, I remember, he always said about Bhaktivinoda Dhara, because one of Shiksha Guru Srila Bhaktivinoda Nan Goswami Maharaj said, we are Bhaktivinoda Dhara, always. So Bhaktivinoda Dhara is main thing is this. All Acharya is Gurudev. No Shiksha Guru, no Diksha Guru. All Acharya is Gurudev. And all Sannyasis is Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru. All Acharya is Gurudev. And all of the Vaishnav is Guru Bhai, Godfather. And Vaishnav is his Guru Bon. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, why created this? For unity of Vaishnava. Because it started from Jiva Goswami on 1545 in Radha Kundo on the present of Deyadas Gopal, 12 Gopal of Nityananda Prabhu and the 6 Goswamis plus 2 Goswamis, 1 Goswamis, Madhupandit Goswami there. It's World Vaishnava Association, Vishwa Vaishnava Rashtava. And Vishwa Vaishnava Rashtava, after Jiva Goswami, after Narottam Das Thakur, they are run from here. And almost after 1670, when the Emperor of India, Aurangzeb, attacked Vrindavan and our Vishwa Vaishnava Rashtava made things, Shata Sandarbha, also run from here to Jaipur. So, we are worship Radha Madhav. Our Mukhiya is Narottam Das Thakur. We are follow the Narottam Das Thakur. And we are same worship system. Then why we are thinking, oh, I am from this mission, I am from this mission. We are one. We are one Bhaktivinoda Dhara, only Bhaktivinoda Dhara. And we must be respected to our Shiksha Gurupad, Srila Fakirman Prabhu, for giving us one chance for one time of 1 year, pray to Radha Madhav, giving Pushpanjali to Radha Madhav. And I have many of talk, but time is very short. So only I said Bhaktivinoda Thakur reappear the Vishwa Vaishnava Rashtava. Later on 1919 by Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, again reappear the Vishwa Vaishnava Rashtava on Ulto Dingi, These published in newspaper also, and this time one of the great newspaper is Amrito Bajar Patrika. And later the library of Amrito Bajar Patrika go to Ananda Bajar Patrika, and by the mercy of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, by the mercy of Guru Vargas, I am working as a journalist in Ananda Bajar Patrika, and I found this from there. The news coming, Vishwa Vaishnava Rashtra about, and for Vaishnava unity. So, around the world have many of union, air rickshaw driver union, auto driver union, e-rickshaw driver union, but Vaishnava union is so old, 500 years near. After 20 years is 500 years. So, must be respect the Jiva Goswami. This is the coming from the Janna Mata, coming from the Jiva Goswami's mind, head, for make the Vaishnava unity. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, again reunion, and must be follow Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Fakir Mohan Prabhu. We are continue, make one, stay as one, and pray to Radha Madhav, giving us so much mercy, not only little, so much mercy, for spread the Bhaktivinoda Thakur mission around the world as like Fakir Mohan Prabhu. Bancha kalpaturu bhasya kipa sindhu bhovacho poitarang pavana bho vaishnava bho namo namo ananta koti vaishnava bindu ki jai. Again one time, Hare Krishna. I am not listening. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Fakir Mohan Prabhu ki, Thakur Bhakti Vinod ki, Radha Madhav ki, Nitai Gaur Pemanande Hari Hari Bol, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam.
Bhaktiyavina paratra lakshaikshitascha kamadi taranga madhye kripa mai twang sharanam prapanam vinde namaste charanadavindam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bistaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Paskatyadi Zatarine. I met Srila Fakir Mohan in several occasions, and we always had one subject, which was Vishwa Vaishnava Rajshava, because he knew so much of the past and the plan and the talking of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all things which I had no idea of. And since 1994, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, my Shiksha Guru, had restarted the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha here in Vrindavan, together with 17 other Vaishnava organizations. I was very keen to know more about, and when I heard that Fakir Mohan Prabhu had so much knowledge about this, so we talked again and again, and he was giving me insight how much this was actually a great concern to Fakir Mohan Prabhu, since I never accompanied him in his preaching activities, so I didn't know much about it. But it's something which I personally like to contribute in the thought, just like Guru Tattva. Maharaj just gave a nice explanation on Guru Tattva. Like Guru Tattva is something which is always caring for all those who are looking for Krishna in one way or another. And Krishna is himself the Acharyamam Vijaniyam, so he's the original spiritual master in the form of Paramatma. He's overlooking every single one's individual growth, individual progress. Most of you have had experience of joining a mission and leaving a mission. And maybe joining a second mission and maybe also leaving the second mission. We have all seen it. Some people have already left 4 missions or so. So, not the Bhaktivinoda Dhara, that we never leave, not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spirit. So actually there is something which we can conclude that spiritual life and the Bhaktivinoda Dhara has very little to do with any institution. It is a heart-to-heart relationship, because when we are touched here, we hear what people say about Fakir Mohanji when they were touched. And what makes spiritual life alive is when you were touched in your heart, in this transaction, when the grace is coming down to you through some inspired Vaishnava. Therefore, when we go out in the world, now we may ask, well, who do we belong to? Do we belong to the general term of our tradition, Hindus? Are we Hindus? Or are we belonging to the Vishwa Vaishnava, Vishwa Hindu Parishad? Or do we belong to the Sanatan Dharma? We really have a kind of a problem there. Or do we belong to the original branches of the Chaitanya tree? Where do we belong? How can we describe it? Now, this may be a question of investigation if you're in a small country, which is not Vaishnava country, Christian, Muslim, whatever, and they may question you. And they may ask, who are you? And if you say, I belong to ISKCON, but you're not actually working with ISKCON. You may say, I'm Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, but Chaitanya Saraswat Mat is already divided in so many branches. So the question of identity, belonging, it comes up, and that belonging has a validity, because by what you belong to, what is your family tree, that is what is also giving a sign of like the Guinea stamp of quality. The Guinea stamp of quality of our spiritual Dhara, of course, is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, number 1, but there is some name to it, and that name is Vishwa Vaishnava Rajshava. And that's what would help. It does help. Few devotees know that the mission of Lord Chaitanya was saved in Russia because of Vishwa Vaishnava Rajshava. The government was going to close them down, all the religions supposedly coming from America. And there's many other stories. I don't want to go too far. It's just that we are here so happy to have you once coming again. By the grace of Prajarenu, this Samadhi of Fakir Mohan came here. By this, Prema Prayojana and all of you beautiful Vaishnavas are coming here, and so many other friends. So it is what you could call an unofficial Vishwa Vaishnava Rajshava gathering in glory of Fakir Mohan and Bhaktivinoda Thakur Dhara. So this is actually which we should repeat as often as we can in as many places as we can. We don't need to be that many devotees. It is that spirit of brother and sister, the divine spiritual family. Who's arriving there? Is that Bhakti Prapantirtha Maharaj? Bhakti Prapantirtha Maharaj. Now he is the vice president of the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajshava. So then you must say there must be some planning in the talking sequences, no? That he just comes up and gives us his divine presence here on this occasion. Please, Maharaj, in our Harikatha we are urging your presence. So he's one of the disciples of Srila Bhaktira Kakshida Deva Goswami Maharaj. I went there in 1981 and met him there. We became very close, and and then he took sannyas. He's now one of the international acharyas, and he was chosen by his loving nature to be the vice president of the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha, because we actually were thinking of inviting Srila Gopananda Bon Maharaj also today, but he's 97, and with the Sunday traffic here, we were really thinking it's maybe a little bit too much to burden it on him, because we knew also Prema Prayojana was going to be here. It's not going to be much time. But now it changed a little bit. But with Srila Bhakti Prabhupada Tirtha Maharaj here, we are more than blessed and very satisfied. And yes, again, see you again next year. If Krishna wants, we never know what the timing is. And Radha Madhava, of course, blessing us here is also no words for it. We cannot comment on it. That the original deities of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would actually come in here and check out what's going on and give us the blessings, check out who's coming here to the festival. And myself, I can only conclude here. There's these beautiful books. I think you can, shall we give them?
See, first you have to speak.
You want to say something? Please, be brief, because Maharaj is.
Haribol. Dear devotees, today is the actual tithi of the disappearance day of Bhakti Maharaj, and I would like to share a few teachings and just to glorify him and get his mercy. In our experience with him, 25 years of doing seva for Bhakti Maharaj and Radha Madhav during the time of Kartik, we noticed that lots of foreign devotees would come forward to do seva for Radha Madhav. And one time, when many occasions like this happened, then I requested Bhakti Maharaj. I asked him, is it possible that there is something special, some special connection between Radha Madhav and the foreign devotees? And then Bhakti Maharaj, he said, yes, Radha Madhav are liking foreign devotees very much. And I was puzzled as why. And he explained that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was in Orissa, that already there he was thinking of the welfare of the local people who were villagers, and they were exploited by the landowners. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur built schools, and he was even the headmaster of the schools there, just to break the cycle of poverty by giving them education, and especially he was an English teacher. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur not just focused on giving mercy to the Indian people, the poor people there, but already he was thinking of foreign devotees. Like, as you know, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was like the first acharyas in our sampradaya to write in English language. And he has written this life, about the life and teachings of Mahaprabhu. He made a booklet, and he sent to universities, foreign universities. He could have, just sent to Indian university, but he had the purpose, he had the goal. He wanted to reach the foreign devotees. So he sent those books to foreign. He sent to foreign libraries, and then but he had this purpose that one day it will affect devotees there. So Bhakti Maharaj was a Vaishnava scholar. He was a Sanskrit professor. So when he presents something, then he gives evidence for that as well. So, as you know, may know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has made 3 predictions. And one of those predictions are, a great personality will travel all over the world to spread love of Mahaprabhu. As you all may know, that the personalities was Srila Prabhupada, but in this verse, you can also see the world all over the world. It doesn't mean just India. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was speaking about foreign countries all over the world. And the second prediction is, very soon the chanting of Harinam will spread all over the world. Oh, when will that day come when people from America, England, France, Germany, Russia will take up kartals and madangas and chant Hare Krishna? And then there is the final prediction. When will that day come when the fair-skinned foreigners will come to Sri Mayapur Dham and join the Bengali Vaishnavas to chant Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari? Oh, when will that day be? So, according to Fakir Mohan Maharaj, this shows that writing booklets in English, sending to foreign countries, and making these predictions, that the common thing here is that Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks about foreigners. In all those 3 predictions, he speaks about foreign countries, about foreigners. He already knew that foreign devotees would come to India. And like Srila Prabhupada said, that a grandfather is more merciful than your own father, because a father has to discipline you. And if you want some sweets or something else, he will chastise you, and he will tell you no once a week, maybe once a month, or with some restrictions. But with a grandfather, he doesn't have all that. He has no discipline, no rules. He will just simply shower affection. He will just simply love the grandson, and he will try to make friendship with the grandchild. So, according to Fakir Mohan Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's our Param Guru, he's our grandfather, or spiritual grandfather, and his mood is to connect with his grandchildren, and especially with foreign devotees, and that's why his mercy is spreading to foreign countries. And our Gurudev, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he mentioned there are different types of mercy. And mercy to the body is one type of mercy. But the highest mercy, that is mercy to the soul, welfare work, Krishna consciousness to the soul. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was doing just that. He would give the topmost mercy. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was not just focusing on Indian devotees, but already thinking of you, of all devotees in the world who didn't even know him, but in the future they would become devotees. Because he mentions here devotees from Russia, from France. How many devotees are here from Russia? Yes. And how many from France? From England? From Germany? And I think one country more he mentioned, Germany, Russia, America, England and France. So according to Fakir Mohan Maharaj, he was already shouting his mercy, and he was already trying to connect with the spiritual grand disciples. So, and what about Radha Madhav? I have spoken about that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a special connection with the foreign devotees, with his grandchildren. But what about Radha Madhav? Is there also something there? The question I asked Fakir Mohan Maharaj, he confirmed. And how do we see that? Well, in our experience with Seva for Radha Madhav, I would often make arrangement that other devotees, mostly like in one example, to paint Radha Madhav. I arranged for Indian devotee, Orissa, from Orissa, and everything was done and arranged for. But then suddenly we got the message that Radha Madhav has gone away and to Gopal Dham. and Radha Madhav was there, and I was summoned to come there. Fakir Mohan Maharaj was there with Radha Madhav, and when I came there, I saw Radha Madhav lying in the lap of Madhurya Kadambini, the Russian artist. And as you know, she is a Russian devotee, a foreigner. And Radha Madhav, we had made arrangement to do otherwise, to have other person do seva for Radha Madhav, but Radha Madhav had made their own arrangements. In this way, there are many, many examples that Radha Madhav, they made their own arrangements to accept seva from foreign devotees. And in this way, Fakir Mohan Maharaj, he wanted to show that there is some special mercy from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's side to the grandchildren, the disciples, foreign disciples, devotees all over the world. So, yes, this is what I wanted to share. So, Srila Fakir Mohan Maharaj ki jai, Srila Gauravinda Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Radha Madhav ki jai.
And the proof of it that majority of people here now from international community, but the Srila Tirtha Maharaj, he will explain us much more about this. Thank you for coming. I already introduced. This is the Radha Madhava of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and today is the disappearance day of Fakir Mohan, and we are all celebrating that.
Haribol, yes. First, my obeisances to my Divine Guru Maharaj, Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Rakho Siddhadeva Goswami Maharaj, and my obeisance to my Shiksha Guru, and same like my Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace Srila Sri Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Goswami Maharaj, and all my Guru Vargas. I'm giving here my very dear, my senior, Pujvat Bhaktiwala Paramadarthi Maharaj. I'm giving my obeisances, all the assembled Sannyasis and Vaishnavas, and present over here. Oh, I see. So my obeisance to all, my obeisance to Sri Radha Madhav Ji and their devotees, my obeisance to Pujabad Fakir Mohan Prabhu, today his disappearance. I just come, I'm late, I'm sorry, because of some traffic jam, etc. So I'm coming from Radhakunda now. I supposed to leave yesterday, but when Radha Madhav, here Madhava Krishna Prabhu informed me, then a festival like last year also going to happen. So there's no ticket. So he said, you can maybe wait one day. So I thought, yes, we must listen to Vaishnavas, right? When you go anywhere, we must listen. So I cancel my trip to Navadip. I supposed to go yesterday. So I come at least give my obeisances to Radha Madhav and to see you all. Therefore I'm coming, and what to say, I don't know so much. I'm very late. I don't want to take much time. Okay, so I'm feel happy to come here always. Maharaj has some affection for me, and I'm like to see the devotees. Devotees, what Mataji told, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur preached for all, and I love who love Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Understand? Therefore I have come. I don't know so much. I not seen Pujabad Fakir Mohan Prabhu, but I heard a little bit. And last year I was here. I also impressed to hear about him and to see all the devotees and etc. etc. So I said, okay, let's chance. Maybe I'm late. Maybe I can take some prasadam. That's also important, right? We heard in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhavendra's Puripad's appearance festival, and Mahaprabhu was there. Sachima was there, many devotees there. They are doing so much seva there. But they are saying Vidamala Thakur, Madhavendra Aradhana Tithi, Bhakti hai Govinde, Bhajan koile thi. Even the appearance or disappearance of our Guru Vargas, if we at least we can honor the prasadam, that will give us devotion to Krishna. Madhavendra Aradhana Tithi, Bhakti Hoy Govinde, Bhajan Koile Ithi. Today like Fakir Mohan Aradhana Tithi, Vaishnava Aradhana Tithi, Vaishnava Remembrance Tithi. If we can at least honor the prasadam, that will give so much benefit. What benefit? We shall get devotion to Krishna. So I have come maybe late, so I know I'm not a speaker, but I don't know English so much. Please you correct it. What to say? I just know that Fakir Mahaprabhu is a great devotee and great scholar. And he loved Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I told you, I see my Guru Maharaj. He loved Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And the time when Bhaktivinoda Thakur when he disappeared, after 12 years of his disappearance, to please his Gurudev, his divine grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, he wrote a Viraha Dadashakam, 12 prayers about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And it is very famous. And Prabhupada liked it. That Viraha Dadashakam about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what he wrote. You may be heard his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Maharaj telling in Bengali to Guru Maharaj that Prabhupada liked. And he told, Sridhar Maharaj will save our devotion. Prabhupada Bhakti had told, only by reading that prayers, Bhaktivinoda Viraha Dadu, in the separation of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what he wrote. So, Guru Maharaj know that Prabhupada will be very pleased that if we do anything for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, before he wrote about Prabhupada, before that he wrote that about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to please Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. So today, you are here, I am fortunate to see the deity Radha Madhav, and therefore I have come actually. Who is Bhaktivinoda Thakur? And you know, he told it is that Vaishnavism is not only for India. Vaishnavism is ready to honor all men without distinction of caste. See how universal is the religion of Bhagavatam. It is not intended for a certain class of Hindus alone, but it's a gift to man at large. Whatever country is born, whatever society is bred. In short, Vaishnavism is the absolute love, binding all men together with the infinite, with the absolute. That is Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Bhagavatam lecture. He told us, and it's so nice. Bhaktivinoda Thakur know. And yes, I heard Mataji read. He preached. His books is for all over the world. And today you all come. And I'm so happy. So, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur told this, that time no one single Western devotee, when he told this famous saying that, sir, I'm seeing devotees from Russia, Prussia, France, America are coming. That time not a single one is there. Right? But his divine vision, he proclaimed that they are coming. He told many things going in the name of religion, but what Mahaprabhu has given very soon will attract so many intelligence of the world. And today we are seeing so many intelligentsia has come and taken shelter under the feet of Mahaprabhu. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is the pioneer of 19th century Krishna consciousness, for him, like a Renaissance came in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, like a Renaissance, right? By his writing, Guru Maharaj composed a slok about him. What Bhaktivinoda Thakur given? Gurudam, Granthadam, Gauradhamadam, Nabadam Muda, Bhaktidam, Huridam, Vande, Bhakti Vinadakam Sada. What Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us? He given many things, I just heard, but his the vast contribution, Gurudam, he has given Guru for the world, right? And with that, his divine Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, his vast contribution is that. Gurudam, we heard some devotees, maybe we heard from one ISKCON Acharya, that if Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our Pujapad Charu Goswami Maharaj, he told that if Bhaktivinoda Thakur would not come, he told that West Bengal people was unable to understand Mahaprabhu. But we can say the whole world was unable to know Mahaprabhu without Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right? Today we are seeing that. So nice to see that you all attracted by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, by Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. Only fortunate soul will come. Who can stop them? So, because we are soul conscious, Krishna consciousness is soul conscious, right? Mahaprabhu even given prema to the animals, right? How it possible? In Charikhanda, all the elephant, tigers, they are chanting by Krishna Nam. How it possible? It is not by body. By their tiger body can chant. Guru Maharaj told that Mahaprabhu giving the Harinam, when he want to give, his Harinam reach to the soul of those tigers, to the soul of the elephant, and then they dance, right? And Mahaprabhu want to go and is given. So it's possible. So I'm saying, I'm always surprised to see you all. You not understand English, Bengali, maybe, but you understand Krishna, Krishna Nam, Hari Bol. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is given the Guru, and through his Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur also, you all come. He sent his devotees, his disciples, go, give Mahaprabhu's contribution to the world. It will help others. It is the best contribution of the Lord. So we have to give it. So today our Guru Varga is Divan Kesulesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. How we cannot deny that without him also it was not possible. So Mahaprabhu Prabhupada Bhakti Sastro make him that he preached all over the world. We have to must glorify him also. So, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur given Guru Dang, Guru given, and then he been given so much grantha, books, right? This grantha, you know. I come to this when I'm in my previous ashram. I just found a book, Jaiva Dharma, and I got my answer, my questions. I'm looking. I'm in ashram. I'm born and brought up ashram. So I was in ashram, and no possible how that time no so many Gaudiya Math is on that side. But somehow I got the book. Jaiva Dharma is come to me, and I got some answer. My question, no one can give in that time. But I got his grantha, his song,